Hello everybody, Brayden here, Brayden's Fish Tank channel. Coming at you with a video just showing you guys the 1.5 gallon tank after it's been trimmed. It's looking pretty good. I thought it would turn out bad, but it looks pretty nice. And I really like this tank. I got my little custom construction paper canopy, which actually works pretty well. I mean, it's not very good, but it works. It's functional, you know. I mean, you can still see a little bit of light. I could probably fix that if I was devoted enough. But, you know, it helps block out the light, which I like. And the tank just looks really nice. Don't use any ferts on this. Just have the dirt and the pool filter sand. I have my 2 ghost shrimp. You can see one of the guys right there. They're pretty sweet. They got these little red tips on them. And I got another ghost shrimp back there. You can see his tail. He's playing in the Java fern back there. But yeah, and I got my betta fish Blaze up here. So yeah, first off, I kind of trimmed down the Java moss. It's kind of hard to trim it down though, since it's such a small tank. You know, getting in there with the scissors is a pain. So it doesn't look great. I mean, I would have liked to trim up that little bit that's in front of the Rotella indica, but it's alright, you know, it doesn't look horrible, it looks pretty cool, so I'm happy with that. Trimmed up the dwarf edge a little bit, just the leaves that were getting wicked long. I changed those up, and then this is the Bacopa, which I also, sorry, the tank's making weird noises, which I also trimmed down. And yeah, and then I added some more Rotella indica, which looks really nice. This Rotella indica is going awesome. You know, at first I thought, oh yeah, it might not be able to grow it that well. And yeah, I'm not getting the red or pink tones out of it. And that's probably because I don't dose anything. And also, I don't have any clay in the substrate, which, you know, I've gotten great successes out of this tank, and I haven't had clay, so you know what, I like dirt, and I think it's a great substrate for some people, but then again, sometimes it's really not a good option, and I'm hopefully setting up 1 or 2 planter tanks, and they're most likely not going to be dirted. They're going to be, you know, pretty high tech, you know, running good substrate, you know, fluorite, eco-complete, something in that area, and I'm going to use ferts and stuff, because that's really the best way, in my opinion, to get good looking plants, but you can still do it on a budget like what I have here. So yeah, that Rotella indica is looking sweet. I got that Rotella indica out of this tank, well, some of it, I think most of it, right here. This is the 5 gallon, which has Winston in it, and I'm basically just using it as a plant grow out tank, and it's pretty dirty. My aqua-tech 515 filter, I think this is, I have 2 of these filters, and well, 2 that I've used, and then I think this is the one that was my first filter ever, so it was like 4 or 5 years old, and I think it was like 4 years old, 3 or 4, I don't know, around that area, but it kind of crapped out. It's still working, kind of. It was working, but it was making like kind of annoying noises, so it's probably just the impeller. But I'm gonna probably be getting an Aqua Clear 20 for this tank, and hopefully eventually this guy will be either, I'm gonna set up either a Phoenix, I think it's called, 4 gallon Pico Reef. It might be a different type, but a Pico Reef over there where the 6 gallon is, or put this 5 gallon where the 6 gallon is, and have a nice freshwater planted, you know, so it looks good, and it's not just like a bunch of grow out. But I got a ton of dwarf sage, and I mean, you can see there's runners everywhere. It's ridiculous. I mean, I started out with not that many, and Winston's doing all right. He's fine. He's just resting back there. His fins still haven't recovered completely, but you know, I think they're starting to come back. The Harlan Rasboras are doing good. Still got 5 of them, and 1. I got the 4 Harlans and then the 1 lamb chop. Gotta clean this tank though. Yeah. So that's where I got that Rotella indica from, and it looks really nice. And I trimmed down this Java moss, which is pretty nice. And I need your guys' opinion. Do you like the Rotella indica in the middle? I've had it in the middle, but recently I just added like that much more right there. So, or you know, a little bit more, like maybe 3 stems more. So tell me what you guys think on that. Do you think it's like too dead flat center, or what? I mean, I really like this tank, and I usually view it from the side, typically. So yeah, I mean, if anybody wants, oh, also, the Nano, the narrow-leaf anacris is growing crazy. I have to cut that stuff a lot. And the wisteria is doing pretty good too. But, so, like, if anybody wants to know, this tank is very simple and easy to set up, you know, if somebody wants a nano tank or something like this, because, I don't know, I mean, I love it. I think it's great. It's, you know, easy. It's cheap. Like, a lot of people would think that this is kind of expensive to set up, but it really isn't. I mean, you take the lamp, which is like 15 bucks, and you can get a cheaper one. Then you need some light bulbs, which are maybe $5. This tank was like 20 or 30 bucks with like filters and all this stuff. If you can find just the tank without like the filter, then, you know, for a cheap price, then check that out, because I wouldn't recommend using that same filter it comes with. It's a Tetra Whispered 3i, I think that's what it's called, and it's not very good. Elite Mini internal filter, which is really nice. I like this filter a lot. Fairly quiet too, which is important to me. So that's about $7-8 around that area on Amazon, and I got it with 2-day free shipping. And then this is a Hydor mini heater. I think it's 7.5 watts. That was about $10, I think. So it's pretty cheap. And then, you know, just got a little stick-on thermometer. A little bit warm. It's like 81, 82, but the beta doesn't care. The shrimp, I think they like a little bit lower temp, but they're doing okay. And yeah, so really, really liking this tank. And then, you know, dirt is cheap. Just get the Miracle-Gro Organic Choice dirt. If you want to go dirted, you know, you could totally do this thing with, you know, like fluorite, put some root tabs in it, or like take fluorite, put some root tabs, and then if you want the sand look, then just cap it off with some pool filter sand, which is what I have here, which is also extremely cheap for a 50-pound bag, maybe $11, $12. I think that's what I got it around for. But I've heard of people getting it for $6 for a 50-pound bag at like Home Depot. So just keep your eyes out, and keep your eye out for stuff like this. Or if you guys want to set up something like this. And the plants were basically, honestly, they're just like cuttings and stuff from other tanks, and I basically just grew them up. You know, got some Java moss, which they gave me for free. Had some rocks that I got from outside. I boiled them and rinsed them and scrubbed them off, and they were ready to go in the aquarium. Just be careful with the rocks you're choosing. Watch some videos on it. I won't go into depth on that. And then I just took some clothesline, some thread, which I don't know where it is right now, but took some thread and I just tied it onto the rocks, and that grew. And then I had some dwarf from other tanks, some Bacopa, Wisteria, Rotella, some Java fern, a couple more rocks, some narrow-leaf anacris. I mean, it's really not hard to put together, and I really like it. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and please like the video. And if you guys want to know anything more about this tank, feel free to comment down below or send me a private message. Either one's fine, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible on that. So yeah, it's just my 1.5 little Nano with my Beta Blaze and my 2 little ghost shrimp. Might add some more ghost shrimp. I was thinking about when I first set this tank up doing it as a red cherry shrimp tank, but I have too many betas right now, so I kind of need this for a house of a beta, and it really does make a great beta tank. You know, people say that, you want to have a big 5-10 gallon tank for beta, and it's just like, in my opinion, it's great to give betas, you know. I mean, this is a 6 gallon, and you know, my beta Samson, he's happy, he's got places to explore, and you know, he's got a lot of space. Like, I mean, you look at the fish compared to the tank, and he's got a ton of space to do whatever he needs to. But this tank, although it's a 1.5, it still has adequate space for a beta, in my opinion. Sorry about the focus. I mean, this is a relatively small beta, so, you know, you can kind of get the size thing. But, you know, it's not going to be the biggest for him, but he's probably going to do perfectly fine because, you know, people keep betas in little 1 gallon, non-filtered, non-heated bowls, and, you know, they for the some of them survive as long as you know, keep up with the water changes. But it's important to get a heater, and filters aren't necessary, but they're definitely a plus to help improve the water quality for them, which is fairly important. But if you keep up on the water changes, you probably won't need a filter. I needed the filter, one, for just keeping the water conditions good, and then it also helps regulate the heat from the heater, because I was getting it at like maybe 72 degrees, and I needed it at like 78, 80, around that area. So, yeah, that's what's up, guys. Thanks for watching, and sorry about the long video. I just kind of wanted to show you guys what's up with this tank. Alright, see you, everybody.